So we finally know all the 8 new weapon types that are coming to Elden Ring DLC. Also, we're going to be getting 100 plus total weapons. I'm going to be taking a big dive on all the 8 weapons. Going to provide you guys with the weapon skills, abilities, combat styles, and also all the additional features. I know weapons are a huge part of Elden Ring, and that is why I want to make this video on knowing what exactly you're going to be facing once the game releases on the 21st of June. And before I get started, let me know out of all those 8 different weapons, which is going to be your favorite one. So if you like this video, a like is appreciated. Now, let's dive on all the 8 new weapon types: the Great Katana, hand-to-hand, throwing weapons, thrusting shields, reverse hand sword, perfume bottles, light great swords, and beast claws. Okay, so let's get started with the light great sword. This is a combination of 2 weapons. It's a straight sword and also at the same time a great sword. This one is going to provide you with the advantage as a player if you want to make a good quality build. The light greatsword has a sleek, elegant design, making it not only visually appealing, but it's also going to have a lighter feel compared to a greatsword. Now let's talk about the mechanics of this weapon that we are able to see here in this B-roll that was provided. First of all, we have the Swiss attacks. The light greatsword offers faster attack animations compared to the other greatswords, allowing you not only to do quicker combat, but also a more of a fluid combat. As you're able to know, greatswords are hard to handle. You're going to be very slow. But with the light greatsword, it gives you a new way to play Elden Ring. The weapon skill in this weapon, as you're able to see here, it does a sweeping strike and can be chained together. Now, not only does this make it very effective against a group of enemies, but also is going to maintain nice pressure on a single target. Despite being a great sword, it doesn't comprise much on speed. Players can execute quicker dodges and rolls while wielding this weapon. The light great sword strikes a balance between, like I would say, speed and damage. If you're playing PvE or PvP, you're going to have different scenarios. It may not hit as hard as the heaviest greatsword, but it's a rapid strike, can accumulate significant damage over time. How you're able to use this weapon? Well, it does have different type of combat styles. One is going to be suitable for a player that wants a balanced approach to combat. If you want to be both aggressive offensively, but at the same time have nice defense, this weapon is going to allow you to do that. You're going to be able to increase the effectiveness of this weapon as you are leveling up your dexterity and strength. It's going to reward you in both stats and it's going to make this weapon a nice quality build. Now, let's take a look at one of the most amazing things that are coming to the DLC, and that is hand-to-hand weapon. Here, you're just going to be like a Bruce Lee. You're going to use your fists. You're going to use your feet. You're going to be a weapon at striking very fast. Martial arts is going to be what you're about to do. With the R1, you're going to do quick jabs, which is going to hook and aim, staggering, damaging opponents. The R2 is a stronger, more powerful strike that can break any enemy's defense and deal a significant amount of damage. You have a very nice special move, which is going to include uppercuts, spinning kicks, and also body slams. I'm telling you, this hand-to-hand weapon, new weapon style, it offers you a lot. I feel that is going to be a lot of you guys' favorite because what I'm about to tell you, it is crazy how much damage you're going to be able to do with this weapon style. The unique abilities that you're able to do with this weapon. Parrying with the fist is going to allow for a precise timing on parrying enemies' attacks, leaving them open, of course, for any counter attacks. You're going to be able to do dodge and weave, which is going to enhance your capability, allowing you as the player to quickly evade incoming attacks and also at the same time do counter strikes, which is going to make you very lethal and very hard to touch. The ability to change multiple strikes together, creating fluid and continuous attack sequences that overwhelms any opponent. And this is what makes this weapon even better. You're going to be able to infuse this with elemental damage, fire, lightning, magic, poison. You think of it, you're going to be able to buff this weapon style, which is going to be crazy. One of the good things about this weapon style, once you're playing, you can be very aggressive. A very good example, when you are fighting an enemy and you are dealing poison damage, you may inflict a certain amount of poison damage, but when you follow it up and that poison damage takes effect and you deal more poison to it, it just creates a tremendous amount of damage that pretty much can just kill anyone very easy. Another combat style that you can do is by just doing your stamina management. You can do hand-to-hand combat, but at the same time, you can be slower, you could manage it, you can go around your enemies and try to keep your stamina very manageable. And that is why when you're creating a build, you're going to need a lot of stamina in regards to this build. So hopefully in the DLC, we are able to find a better stamina management than the turtle talisman, which will be much more effective. Ways to be able to use this type of combat style. One is going to be crowd control. You're going to be able to handle a lot of different groups, of course, smaller groups and with rapid attack and multiple targets at the same time. Now, when you are fighting bosses, and this is where it gets a lot of fun, because not only you're going to be very mobile, you're going to be very fast. Bosses not be able to hit you very easily, which is going to allow not just dodge and counter very effectively. Of course, you got to have some skills to be able to fight with the hand-to-hand weapon style, because this is all about being on your enemy's face. Next up, we got throwing weapons. If you are the player that don't like to get up close on different enemies, well, throwing weapons are going to be your specialty. Not only you're going to have 4 different types that so far we have seen. One is going to be knives, axes, spear, and great hammer. Just let's take a look here at the throwing knives. It's a special skill that enhances the throwing capabilities, allowing daggers to be able to pierce through multiple enemies. If you hit R1, you're going to do quick single throws, aim, which is going to be hitting with precision. Now, if you do an R2, it's going to charge that attack. So you're able to implement this and combine it with different types of talismans, and it's going to do a lot more damage and also multiple targets at the same time. Special moves that we're going to be able to see here is you're going to be able to do multiple throws, attacks, and also explosive throws that can cause an AoE damage. Combination that you're able to use this with if you have any incantations or if you have any or running any mage type of spells, throw those out, and with the follow-up with the knives, I mean, it's a deadly combination that will take down any mid-sized type of enemy. Unique abilities. You have rapid fire, you have a stealth enhancement, and you also have elemental infusion. The daggers, you can infuse them with poison, fire, frost, and also adding that special effect that is going to deal more damage. I'm sure this is going to be the same thing with axes, maybe spears, but once we dive into a little bit more into the DLC, we're going to be able to find this out. The amazing thing about the throwing weapons is that you're going to have unlimited of those weapons, either axes, spears, great hammers, or knives. You're always going to throw them and you're always going to have extras. So that is something that is going to help a lot of players that don't like to get too close to enemies, or don't, let's just put it like this, you are not the best player in the world, but you can manage it with this type of combat styles. Different strategies that you can use with this weapon. One, range weapons. You can distract or disrupt your enemy with just throwing them, and at the same time use like a dagger, or you can use any other weapon that could probably finish them up with a nice combination. Trusting shields, it just depends on the type of player that you're going to be. This ones, they work more like a trusting type of shield. We were able to see this in the trailer that you are able to see once you are fighting the first boss in the DLC. You're able to see that with the R1, you are able to do quick thrust that can stagger enemies and create openings to follow up an attack. With the R2, you're able to do charge attacks that are going to deal more damage and have a greater chance of breaking even heavier or larger type of enemies guards. Special moves that you might be able to see here are going to include like the shield bashes or shield parries. They're going to lead into a thrust attack. Unique abilities. You have parrying, you have guard and thrust, and you also are able to infuse them with different type of elemental damage. And this is the great thing about the DLC. A lot of those weapons, you're able to infuse them, especially all those 100 plus weapons, because it's not a remembrance type of weapon when you defeat an enemy and you go back and you get the remembrance and you're able to get that weapon or a special skill, whatever it is. With this other type of weapons, you're able to infuse them maybe sometimes with an actual war, but we'll see more about it once the game releases. The next ones are going to be the reverse hand swords. These are dual wielded swords that are going to have like a reverse grip. You're able to see here in the footage, the way you are able to grab the swords is like you are ready to attack and be very deadly. Not only you're going to be agile, you're going to be very flashy, and you're going to be able to deal a lot of damage because you're going to be able to move fast. As you're able to see here, you're able to just move around your enemy and you're able to attack at the same time. With the R1, as you're able to see here on the footage, you're going to be able to do rapid slashes that can chain into an extended combos, focusing on speed and precision. With the R2, you're going to be able to do like a spinning, flipping attack that's going to deal more damage with a wider area of effect. Special moves are going to include like evasive maneuvers that are going to do counter attacks, and you're going to be able to take advantage with the reverse grip. That it's a very unique skill to this type of weapons only. Another great thing that gives you a nice ability with this weapon is that you're also going to be able to guard yourself against any inflicting damage coming towards you, which it's a good thing because that means that this weapon's effects are going to be with the R buttons. So if you do the R1 and the R2, that's going to be for offensive, where the L button is going to be to guard yourself, which is good to know because this type of weapons are going to be always at a set of 2 instead of just one single weapon. The different type of combat styles that you're able to do with this type of weapons are: 1, your aggressive play, you can do high mobilities, and you can also do precision strikes, which is going to maximize on the damage that you're going to be able to output on different enemies once you are fighting them. I feel with out of all the different weapon types, the perfume bottles are going to be the less effective. This doesn't mean that you can use another talisman that is going to make you very powerful, but you have to be very close to enemies and do the sequence of throwing the perfume, which is going to at the same time leave you open for any attacks. Now with the R1, you're going to be able to do quick throws that's going to produce immediate effects, such as small explosions that you're able to see here. With the R2, you're going to be able to charge. A lot of great things about these new weapons is that you're able to charge them, not just do one attack, which one single charge, but actually are able to charge them really well, which you're going to be able to use them with several talismans that are going to perform a much greater attack. One good thing that the perfume bottles have is that it does give you a nice AoE damage with that burst. Other than that, I mean, it look really nice, but you do have to get really close to your enemies, which once again will leave you open to a lot of strikes against you. The beast claws are very unique and are going to be amazing when you're using them. Once the DLC drops in, you start finding them, use them, just take a look. It's like you are on beast mode. Not only you're going to overwhelm your enemies with brutal attacks that you're going to be able to do. Not only are they fast, but at the same time, you're going to deal so much damage. With the R1, you're going to do quick consecutive slashes that can be chained into extended combos focusing on speed and relentless pressure. With the R2, you're going to be able to charge, which is going to give you a significant amount of damage, break the stance of any enemy, as you're able to see here in the footage. Special moves are going to include powerful leaping attacks, ground slams, and also claw swipes that are going to cover a nice area. Some of the nice and unique abilities that the claws have is that they have bleed effect. You're able to recover really fast, and you're also able to infuse them with different elements such as fire, lightning, poison, special poison, and bleed. Those are two very, very powerful type of element damages that you're going to be able to experience once you start playing the DLC. The great thing about the claws is that they come as a pair. You're going to be very mobile. You're going to be able to do savage type of combo attacks. You're going to be a very aggressive player. So if you don't like to be very aggressive, then those claws are not going to be the type of weapons that you want to use. If you love bleeds, poison builds, definitely you're going to love this type of weapons. And the last one is going to be the Great Katana. This is a very unique and at the same time a very powerful weapon. It is compared to the Odachi. So if you're able to see here this picture, it's a little bigger than the regular katana. What this is going to be providing you is a lot of damage when you are hitting opponents. With the R1, you're going to do very quick, precise slashes that can be chained up into fluid combos, focusing on speed and precision. If you are hitting the R2, you're going to do very powerful overhead and sweeping slashes that are going to be able to deal a significant amount of damage. It's going to stagger enemies. It also includes a nice series of quick slashes and powerful charges that are going to take down a lot of opponents really fast. Now, this is a very nice long type of katana, and as you're seeing, it's a great katana. So that means it's going to deal more damage than a regular katana. That it's more of a dexterity build. This one is going to focus more on heavy blows, but at the same time, you're going to have that mobility in with the elemental infusions that you're going to be able to add, such as fire, lightning, magic. This is going to be favorite type of katana because it gives you the world of two type of weapons, a katana and also a heavy weapon that you're able to just do a lot of damage with just the R2. This weapon is going to be great for those type of players that want a mid-range attack and you want precise strikes. Definitely you're going to be able to enjoy this type of weapons. This weapon is really good against bosses because it's going to deal a lot of damage. It also gives you a nice distance between bosses or enemies because of the long range of the weapon. So it's going to help you with crowd control, and also it's going to be nice to be able to use it because not only you're going to be able to enhance element damages, but it's also going to be a very fast type of weapon. So there you go. Those are all the different 8 type of weapons that we're going to be able to see in Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree with over 100 plus weapons. It's going to be a lot of fun discovering all those other weapons. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications to all, and we'll see you on the next video.